JFK was born May 29, 1917, in Brooklyn, Massachusetts. There, he lived a very good childhood in an upper-class family. He attended Harvard College and also was in the Navy for some time. His inauguration was on January 20th, 1961. There he said his famous quote, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country." JFK was involved in many important issues during his presidency, including the Cuban Missile Crisis and the nuclear ban test treaty. He is famous for the things he has accomplished during his presidency, but maybe even more famous because of his tragic assassination.
On November 21st, 1963, President Kennedy went to Texas. While there, he gave several political speeches. The following day, his car drove down Dealey Plaza and turned onto Elm Street. There at 12 o'clock, Lee Oswald shot 3 times at President Kennedy from a textbook warehouse building, approximately 65 feet away. 2 of the shots fired hit JFK and the other hit the governor of Texas. The one shot hit his neck, and the other went through his head. The Secret Service tried to bring him to the Parkland Hospital that was located 4 miles away. They could not get him there fast enough, and shortly after at 1 p.m. in the hospital, the president was pronounced dead. Later that day, at 1:40 p.m., someone saw Oswald go into a theater. There he called the police, and after about 10 minutes, Oswald was caught by police. The killer, Lee Harvey Oswald, was a worker in the local textbook warehouse building. Since he was working there, he found the perfect spot to kill the president. He used an Italy Carcano M19-138 manual rifle to kill the president. The gun was found by police hiding in the warehouse after his assassination. Also, a fingerprint which belongs to Lee Oswald was also found on the gun. 2 days later, Lee Oswald was sent to prison, but during his transfer, he was assaulted and killed by Jack Ruby.
There were many documented first-hand accounts about people's experiences of the dramatic and stunning event. One witness, named Bob Jackson, was a photographer for the Dallas Times-Herald. He said that he heard the shots of the rifle and looked up at the textbook warehouse building and actually saw a man pulling the rifle out of the window. But when he heard the shots, he never thought that the president would be killed. Another account was from Rufus Youngblood, who was a Secret Service guard in the car with the vice president. He said that he heard an explosion and looked around to see where it was coming from. Then his instincts told him to jump on top of the president. And while he was doing that, he shouted, "Get down!" He especially expressed how abnormal the president's car was acting after he heard the first shot.
The assassination of President JFK, the event which stormed the world, was on November 22, 1963. 48 years ago, at that time, the Secret Service was responsible for protecting the president and his family. After Kennedy got killed, it was a big wake-up call for the Secret Service that what they were doing was not working, so they totally revamped the structure of their system. That made Secret Service realize even how important their mission of protecting the president was, and after the assassination, they got a lot of money from the government, so they could improve how they do things. Some of the changes that they made include things like no more travel in open cars, more green, more funding, and better communication. They realized that communication was a key factor in protecting the president. The way the Secret Service operates today was heavily inspired by the death of JFK and the reform that took place.
Today, there is still much debate as to what happened that day. There was a poll done in 2003 by ABC News that showed that 70% of Americans believed that there was more involved in the assassination. Some of the conspiracies include that there was the possibility that another gunman also shot at the president. Another one is that the CIA killed him because they did not like how he handled the Bay of Pigs situation. Others say that mobsters killed him because they were mad at JFK's brother for starting the prosecution of crime lords. We will never know what really happened that day, but we can only hope that something like this never happens again.